Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel. Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. And this is your monthly forecast for April 2026. Okay, there's a lot happening here in Aries. So keep your head on. A lot of heat is happening out here. Okay, so we're going to start with the full moon in Libra, which is opposite of Aries. And it's called the pink moon. It'll be at 12 degrees of Libra, and it will be Pacific Standard Time, 7:11 p.m. Okay? This is fiery cardinal energy, leadership energy, initiation energy. Okay, the energy is hot, forward moving, and aggressive. So beware. Okay, you may feel the heat already. The month starts out with the sun in Aries and Mars meeting Neptune and Saturn in Aries this month as well. Okay, the new moon on the 17th is 27 degrees of Aries at 4:51 a.m. and it forms a powerful stellium. And this is just a parade of planets in the sign of Aries, somewhere in one of your houses. Just depend on where the rising sign is for you. Okay, so we have Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn, the Sun, Moon, and the wounded healer Chiron in Aries as well, conjuncting Aries. So there's a lot to unpack here in your chart, but just note that there is an area of concentrated energy somewhere in your chart in one of the houses. And where that is for you is going to be that intense city. Okay, the energy is intense. You could have arguments about different things depending on where it is, because Aries and Mars, okay, they take action first and think later. Okay, so they can be impulsive. So just beware of any impulsivity that you may have. Try to think about it before you know, put it out there, because during this time, what you put out, you can't take back. That's the thing. But this is all about growth, okay? Maturity, all right? So just so you know, this is happening for you and not just to you, okay? And we all are experiencing this simultaneously. It just depends on where this stellium is in your chart, okay? So let's get going and talk about the rising signs and where this stellium is going to be in your chart, all right? See you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Scorpio collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl, and this is your monthly forecast for April 2026. Now, before we get into your forecast, I just want to say I had to re-record your forecast because my audio was completely lost, and maybe I wasn't paying attention to my transmitters, but I did a whole forecast and now I'm having to do it all over again. All right, so let's get into it. Now, this month begins with the full moon in Libra, and this is going to be happening in your 12th house. We also have a stellium, which is a parade of planets that are in the sign of Aries, okay? And this is going to be happening in your sixth house, I believe. So be aware of this intense energy. Mars is also moving into the sign of Aries, and Mars is your ruler, Scorpio rising. So you may be feeling some of this energy that is going to be creating some, uncomfortability, is what I'm going to say. Okay, so let's get started. On the first, we have the full moon in Libra, and it's going to be squared by Jupiter in Capricorn. Now, squares are tension, that push and pull energy, and it's meant for us to grow from. Okay, so this is happening in your 12th house of your unconscious, hidden enemies, retreats, your own self undoing, karmic contracts, old karmic patterns, where, what is it? Ancestral habits that you may not even be aware of is part of the 12th house energy. Okay, and the square is with the ninth house of your your belief systems, higher learning, your religion, spirituality. It also covers long distance travel, other cultures, other languages, philosophy, teaching, publishing, higher education, if I didn't say that. Okay, so during this transit, you may be tempted to overcommit something that feels meaningful but emotionally draining. Okay, you may be conflicted between idealism and your need for emotional safety or alone time. Okay, so with this, Jupiter energy is expansive, okay, and it has a tendency to want to overdo. So during this full moon, you may want to, look at just releasing and retreating in the energy of this 12th house where you can kind of do some housekeeping here, Scorpio rising. On the third, we have Venus in Taurus, and this is in your seventh house, and it's going to be squaring Pluto and Aquarius in your fourth house. Now, Pluto again is about power, control, struggles, transformation, and Aquarius is about bringing that power out to the people and giving them the freedom to be their authentic self. So with Venus in the seventh house, we're talking about relationships, one-on-one partnerships, business partners, legal contracts, your hidden, your open enemies, which is old relationship partners here as well. So here you may feel pulled between wanting security. Yes, your fourth house is about your ancestry, your private space, your physical home, and your family. And comfort with a partner and the urge to radically change the relationship such as end old patterns, expose hidden issues, or renegotiate power. Okay? In your close relationships, old fears around abandonment, control, or dependency may surface in the form of jealousy, possessiveness, or need to test their truth or loyalty. You may experience a breakup or distance yourself from the family or make a move or have a confrontation with your inherited emotional baggage. Okay? So, hey, these are times for growth. These are times for addressing what is no longer working and change that because you are striving to become your authentic self here. All right, so on the 5th, we have the Sun in Aries in your 6th house, squaring Jupiter in Cancer in your 9th house. Now, your 6th house is about your health, your daily routine, your work, the kind of work that you do, and your workplace, and and the people you work with. Also, being of service is here in the 6th house. And your 9th house is about higher mind, which I've already discussed. Okay, so during this time, you may feel pulled to change jobs or your work routines, but your worries about stability, that's that Cancer energy, family, or not having the right credentials or philosophy in place constrains you. You may desire to expand through travel, study, or new beliefs, but you may feel overworked, stressed, or impatient with how things are organized. On the 9th, we have Mars in Aries, and again, this is in your 6th house. So, Scorpio, all of this Aries energy is concentrated in your 6th house. Okay, so your health may be something that you're paying attention to, or the things that are happening at work may be your point of focus. So, this is a good time to start or intensify a fitness or health routine, fix workplace inefficiencies, or deal with lingering health issues head on. You may take on more responsibility, compete harder, or push to finish things quickly. There is the possibility that conflicts with colleagues, subordinates, or service providers may arise. Overexertion and minor injuries are possible. Okay, so here with Mars and Aries in your 6th house of health and work, you may want to be careful with sharp objects and around heat or a fire because things may heat up quicker, so you have to pay attention to that. And sharp objects, you can cut yourself or, have some kind of problem in your workplace and hurting yourself. Your hands, could be the point of entry there. But just know that Mars is about, it creates inflammation in the body, and it also, being so energetic, it also represents the cuts and things that can occur that can harm the body as well. So be careful. All right, so on the 12th, we have Mars conjunct, I think it's Neptune, but let me get back down here. And this is happening in your sixth house too. Okay? You may have a sudden surge of motivation to work hard or take on more tasks or start a new routine, but your energy can come in confusing waves. That's this Neptunian energy, creating this fog, such as bursts of action. Okay, you may be motivated, but then followed by that, you may be exhausted on distractions or feeling spaced out are some of the things that could occur. Your physical stamina may be at a low, and your body's signals may be blurred, so you may not be paying a whole lot of attention there. So rest, hydrate, and avoid pushing your body through, any fatigue that arise. So on the 15th, Mercury moves into Aries in your sixth house as well. So your focus is on work, tasks, systems, and efficiency. You tend to analyze workflow, fix problems, and you notice errors more than usual. Your attention to your health, diet, exercise, and stress is heightened. You may research health topics or schedule checkups and refine your daily tasks. You may experience an increase in communication with your coworkers, employees, and service providers. Okay, so we know Mercury rules communication. So there's a lot of positive communication going on because Mercury is moving forward. Okay? Now, let's see. On the 16th, we have Mars in Aries conjuncting Saturn. And as we know, Saturn is the timekeeper, the taskmaster, limitations, it delays, and it delays. Okay, so you know what I mean with Saturn. It's just going to make you think about what it is you're doing and pay close attention. Okay, it's like that step by step process with Saturn. And this is happening in your sixth house. So this is a good time for tackling health regimes or overdue projects. Expect delays or clashes with authority figures. Overwork may cause excessive stress on the body, such as tension or minor injuries. And Saturn also covers authority. All right. So on the 17th, we have this new moon in Aries at 27 degrees, 4:51 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And this is happening in your sixth house. Now, during this new moon is the time when the stellium is activated. Okay? So there's going to be a lot of tension, a lot of heat. With this Aries and Mars energy, it could create arguments, anger, that kind of stuff can stir up here. All right. And we have Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn forming this powerful stellium in Aries. So you can reset your workflow by streamlining tasks, fixing inefficiencies, or by starting a new job-related project. This is a great time to initiate a new fitness routine, diet plan, or wellness practice. You may be annoyed by any disorganization or procrastination in yourself and in others. Okay, so on the 20th, wow, the sun moves into Taurus, and that gives us some relief from this Aries intense energy here. Okay? So, Taurus, the sun of Taurus, is in your ninth house of beliefs, okay? Of higher learning, long distance travel. And I think I spoke about the ninth house before. So here is where you want to embrace opportunities for travel or study that align with your long term goals, like skill building courses or cultural immersion, and ground your spiritual objectives into real experiences. Okay? So on the 23rd, we have Venus and Taurus in your ninth house conjuncting Uranus. And this is the last time that Uranus is going to make a move in the sign of Taurus, because it will be moving into Gemini and stay there for about 7 years. Okay, so Uranus is unexpected breakthroughs, breakouts, things that happen out of the blue. So expect surprises in romantic or social connections, such as falling for someone exotic, other cultures, or rethink commitments through new philosophies. Okay? Breakups are possible, or you may engage in experimental arrangements for authenticity. Okay, financial windfalls or innovative money ideas may arise that may involve foreign investments or education. Okay, so then on the 25th, we have the Sun in Taurus squaring Pluto in Aquarius. And this is between your ninth and your fourth house. Okay? With this transit, you can expect power struggles surfacing around outdated family platforms or property issues that clash with an urge to broaden your horizons, your ninth house, through education or relocation. This friction demands confronting hidden fears to rebuild inner security on firmer ground. So, the last thing I'm going to speak on this month is Uranus in Gemini, and this is happening in your eighth house of transformation, the house of death, the house of shared resources, other people's money, psychological issues, psychic abilities, banking, taxes, finances, all those things. So this is going to be in your eighth house. Uranus is going to be changing things around over the next 7 years. I think it's 7. But anyway, you may experience sudden financial or legal surprises tied to joint assets, loans, taxes, or inheritances. Breakthroughs or wake-up calls may occur. Okay, relationship breakups, renegotiation of boundaries within existing relationships, or sudden shifts towards more honesty and transparency is probably necessary. You may feel more intuitive, drawn to the occult, or suddenly become more aware of hidden patterns in your psyche or family system. Okay, so I'm hoping that the audio is clear and we can get through your forecast for April, Scorpio rising. So until next time, bye for now.